Hello, how's it going, folks? Recording from a new camera because my old camera has failed, as well as other technology having failed. Yeah, but anyway, what do I want to talk about today? A few things rather than one thing in particular. I went to a wedding party a couple of weeks ago. A colleague of mine from work. Nice guy. Lovely guy, and his wife's lovely as well. He gets married on a Saturday, as many people do. I think he got married at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, for the rest of us, we're working all day on Saturday, as we tend to do in the catering industry. And we work till late, till about 10 in the evening. And we all pile in one car, go over there. And yeah, we get there at about 10:30. By the time we get there, his friends and family are well on their way to being completely inebriated. Absolutely out of it, a lot of them. Yeah. And we're there not knowing who this person is or this person is, and we're a bit tired from work, and we got work the next day, and I wasn't drinking. I was just there as a well-wisher sort of thing. And to be honest, the whole thing was a little bit awkward. But having said that, I'm glad I put in an appearance anyway. So on the way back, I get dropped off about maybe half a mile from my house, and I'm walking back, and I noticed that the police are everywhere. They're all over the place, and you know, they see me walking. It's about 1:45 in the morning by this time. And the police pull me, and they ask where I've been and what I've been doing. Apparently it's in relation to some burglary or some burgling spree that's been going on in the neighbourhood, and I fit the description in terms of my face, my hair, my height, but I don't fit the description in that I'm wearing a suit. Anyway, after I'm stood there in front of 3 cops for a while, and they're sort of checking me out, and eventually I just sort of like, nah, it's not this guy. So yeah, I just went on my way. I'm not sure if they actually caught this guy, this spree burglar in the end, but yeah. Another thing I've done recently, I did recently, a few weeks ago actually, is make a will. Now, I'm only 33 years old, but it's the sort of thing that I've been meaning to do. It's for a while now. I've been meaning to do this for a few years, putting it off for one reason or another, but it is the sort of thing you really should get done. Even if, you know, you're quite young and you're not ill. If you die intestate, it can be messy, financially expensive for your family, and more legally complicated than it really has to be. I was quite surprised to find out that, save for my elderly grandmother, who's in her late 80s now and suffering from dementia, unfortunately, save for her, I'm the only person in my family who's actually taken the time to make a will. And there are people in my families who are well into their 60s or early 70s in some cases. So I think the reason there's a large percentage of people in this country who haven't made a will, or want to put it off until they're a certain age is because it's just one of those things people don't really want to think about. But like I said, it's best to get it done. Okay, things I've been reading recently. This is sort of a random video. You know, usually I'll talk about one thing when I sit down in front of a camera and just go at it. But not today. Things I've been reading recently. I've been reading a book called Capital by an author called John Lancaster. It was a good read. It took me about 6 months to actually read the whole thing. Like a couple of chapters every night before I go to bed. I received it as a Christmas present, this book, or novel. It's a novel actually. It's 577 pages. It's quite complex, lots of little subplots, different tangents going off in this way or that way. The character development's okay. It was a fairly good read, but I've read better. Would I recommend it? Bedtime reading, yeah. Other thing I've been reading recently, or I was reading recently online, was doing some research if you like, on the topic of paraphilias, or atypical sexual attraction to objects, or certain things that would be regarded as abnormal sexual attractions, I guess. And you look at some things and you're just surprised. Or I am. I wonder to myself, how could anyone possibly get off on that? But I suppose if you're into something, if something turns you on, it's not the sort of thing that you can explain in a rational or intellectual way to someone who doesn't get off on it. You know, something does it for you or it doesn't. And some of the things that turn people on are just funny, aren't they? Well, they are to me, and then some of the things that turn people on are just downright disturbing, really. But I suppose we all have our kinks, don't we? Well, I do anyway. Maybe the only people who don't have kinks are very boring, conventional, conservative people. And again, a lot of conservative people are actually quite kinky, turn out to be the most kinky people, yeah? Videos I've been watching recently. I've been watching videos made by and videos made about this Elliot Rodger kid. Elliot Rodger. Yeah, this lad who went on a killing spree last month in California. Just sad, wasteful, hateful thing this kid did. I'm not going to talk about this individual's supposed disorders or his narcissism or his misogyny or his supposed mental illnesses or illness. Plenty of people have been doing the whole analysis, picking over the bones after the event routine, I guess. What I will say is, it just must be so awful for family members of the victim and the family members of the killer. I mean, how would you deal with that if someone in your family went on a killing spree? How'd you deal with that? Just terrible. Anyway, best not to dwell on that. Okay, 10 minutes are up. Didn't really want to talk about anything else, it's just this new camera. I just want to get in front of it and take it for a test run, do a shoot. Yeah, work's going well right now. Everything generally is going good for me. Yeah, I'm going to be a lot busier now. What with it being the summer, business is going to pick up. We're coming very much into season now, so I might not get the chance to do as many uploads as I usually do. I usually like to do 2 a week. Maybe I'm not going to get the chance to do that for the next few months. But anyway, yeah, it's a nice day today, and I think I'm going to go for a walk now. It's nice living by the sea, or living by the sea and next to a nice bit of countryside out in the mountains, as I do here in North Wales. I think to myself sometimes, you know, I've got relatives who live over in England, and they live in built-up cities, concrete jungle, and I just couldn't live where they live, where my 2 brothers live. I have to get out there. I couldn't just be surrounded by cars and noise and just, yeah, the constant noise and hustle and bustle of industrial urban living. I like my personal space to get away from it, you know. Anyway, I'll catch you next time, folks. Have a lovely day. Peace.